connected. Good evening, BBs. Good evening, Club Cult. Incoming Serena spam. Welcome to Stream Dreams Project. Pull us out of purgatories. Woo! We are free. We're gonna bop in with Little Miss PB and then into games for tonight. Meowday Madness. Connected. Boy is doing his best job to show that he really is in charge. He's not just a figurehead tonight. And flip us over. Perfect. Mr. Bean. Chair is so crooked. About the story of the crooked woman in a crooked house or something like that. I didn't hear that one frequently. I heard the old lady who lives in a shoe. Oh no, it was a crooked man. He was a crooked man and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat which caught a crooked mouse. They all lived together in a little crooked house. I swear it was a woman, but okay. Maybe conflating it still yet with the woman who lived in a shoe. His predominant child unstable. Right, Gunther? He says yes, and it's just so, just true. It's chilly. It's like 19 degrees outside or so. Pretty ancient. Please though. It's awful out. I have a feeling that no one is going to come by tomorrow for traps and meals. But I still remain hopeful. Crossing fingers and paws. Very much so. I got stepped in. Mr. Bean. Handsome little boy. Ow, I just stubbed my toe. I am like the queen of stubbing my toe lately. Mr. Gunther. Your little naked eyes. Next time you're nappy, sleepy, we got to do your eye drops, son. You sweet boy. Oh, I forgot to pull up. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. I got ahead of myself. I got excited to go see the baby. The baby, a baby. Phoebe's starting to get so vocal, and she has the funniest little mew squeak. Tank test. Beautiful. Oh, good to go. Almost all of the pink at the bottom of my hair is out. I don't really feel like the blue shampoo really does anything other than pull the pink out, which is fine. I don't mind either way. Creaky door. Hey, Ty. Hey, Pips. Being good little sweeties. Oh, hello, little lion. Hello, little lion girl. Hi. I'm not a lion, I'm a truther. You're so cute. I missed you. I missed her. I missed her so much. She's so perfect. How are you so perfect? How are you so perfect? Hello. You're all about the smoochies. She's a lover girl. Lover girl. You're so proportionate now, but you're still, oh, I'm sorry, an awkward little bulldog, and it's so funny. I genuinely can't tell if her tail is getting long, though. I feel like it was easier to tell with Stripes and Daisy and Nibbler. Oh, with the Rabbit Mamas. Because you could see the difference in size between them. Like, they were comparable. Nibbler was, like, medium-sized. Stripes was always smaller. Well, not always, actually. Nibbler was a little bit smaller at first, but... It's a baby. And Daisy was always the biggest. And now I have nothing to compare you to. Oh, that's a good wall scritch. It was their new favorite thing to do, was just scritch on the wall. Oh, peeves. Oh, are you over your wall scritchings? You sleepy girl? You sleepy girl? Aw. Little eepy mama. Look at your little toe beans. You have the cutest little beans. Your beans are perfect. Like, that's what art is modeled after, PB. You're gonna roly pull you over. We're in that era of life, too. We think we're invincible. What you doing, Goose? You don't really know. You just know that you're cute. Butt rubs. She's so awkward. You're an awkward little dinosaur. I feel like your butt's gonna fall. Hi, PB. Is that working for you? You gotta go get your shots tomorrow. I'm sorry in advance, Mama. I am's. And little princess. What are these little dinosaur tail flicks? You're a dinosaur. You're not a cat, you're a dinosaur. Oh, Ringo's celebrity name of the day today is Dino. Like Dino the dinosaur from the Flintstones. Aww. And that would have been a perfect name for him. He's not even a horse anymore. He's a bear now. That would have been so perfect for him. Are you so cozy? Whoop. I flipped us. Let the boys creep on you for a minute. Oh my goodness. Oh, Miss Peeps. You have the biggest little motor. Cozy. The bellies. Look at those perfect little toe beans. Look at those. You are perfection on a Monday. And your perfect little eyeliner stripes. Do you have eyeliner stripes? Kind of. You have light around your eyes, though, like Slavka. It's deceptive. My cat Twinkie, when I was younger, he had, like, perfect... He was an orange cat, orange tabby. But he had perfect dark orange eyeliners. He looked like a little Egyptian king. You don't have a care in the world for anything right now, do you? Oh, that's a big stretch. It's so long. It's deceptive because of the wide. You are so long. You are so long. Oh, it's a big stretch. You gonna make some wall biscuits?
You don't know what you want to do right now. She gets like a crisis of comfort when she rolls out on her back like that. You don't know where you want to go. There you go. Oh, you just want to do really backwards ass rubbins. Okay. Little baby rumbles. I love you. I'm in love with you, PB. You little loaf. You little pumpernickel loaf. I don't really even know what pumpernickel bread looks like, but I think it's darker in color. We're gonna pretend. We're gonna pretend. I've never seen pumpernickel bread before, but I remember it being mentioned on an episode of Barney as a small child. That is my only knowledge of pumpernickel bread. You're so cute and silly. Where are you trying to go? You're going to roly poly overall? You really don't know what you're doing. Oh, now you do. Oh, you're just licking your toes. Okay. I thought you was being. Whoa! Boop! 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 Saved you. I grabbed you. I got you. You're a little too brave on where you're thinking about going there, girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, peeps. You gonna snuggle in? You're so cute. You're so little. Imagine what our life could be like. I could just carry you around all day like this. You're so beautiful and wonderful and marvelous. Yes, you is. I'm checking out if that's a good shot of you. Whee! You're so silly. You're so silly. You want all the lovin's right now. Oh my goodness. All the lovies. All the lovies. It's not up for negotiation. We gotta do the lovies. We gotta do the lovies. Did you wear yourself out yesterday being crazy? Now you just need to be really cute. She's been very lovey all day today. Yesterday she was a crazy lady. Blurp, 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 blurp. Ow. Where are you swimming to? Give me those beans. Give me those beans. You have no idea what you want in life. That's perfectly okay. You can do whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Just don't fall off of this. The floor isn't far, but it'll be an awkward scoop. Bloop bloop. Bloop bloop. I think you're getting in your play mode now. What is this? What are you feeling? A lot. Careful. Oh my goodness. You can do the same thing over here. Just because there's a blanket doesn't mean it's solid. There you go. And she's on her merry little way in life. All right, I gotta get your milk and probiotics, kid. Little biddle biddle. There we go. At some point I knew we'd get back. Little biddle biddle biddle. Oh, is he coming back out to say hey? To say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. Do we lose power again? I think your, what's it called, turned off? Your tablet. PB. I have no idea what your thought process here is. Hold on, sweetie. You gotta get your stuff. What you up to, Susie Lala? You look like you're causing trouble. You look like you're causing trouble. Oh my goodness. Oh, I miss you too. Ah, ah, ah. You got my foot. I'd rather die than step on you, but Lord, woman, if you kill me, who's gonna take care of you? Think well-roundedly about that, please. Consider the consequences, my dear. Oh my golly. Hey, little baby goober. Little baby goober. Put that over there. Oh, you're gonna mod for me? Okay, scritchins. Scritchins are of utmost importance. Peebers. You know what time it is. The gym bros would love you and your meat-flavored milk. There you go, sis. Yummies. Here's one. A two. She's such a good little hamster. A three. Yeah, three more coming your way, kid. And four. When did your cartoons turn on? I'm sorry. There's five. And number six. We'll get all of them there. Does that have to save for morning, or should we do one extra? Let's see. It's actually enough to save for morning. Good job, Sissy. Good job, my little hamster. My little hamster. My little hamster. Hamtara would have been so cute for her. But it sounds nothing like Katie. Although she doesn't know her name, so she would respond or not respond to anything, realistically. She responds to the clinking of the glass. She's an ASMR kitty. Hold on, Sophie girl. I forgot that. Hold on, Wendy. Hi. Are you waiting like a little lion? Are you a little lion? Are you a little lion? What if you're just a little jacket baby? Say, no, we only do this in the morning, Mom. Oh, you're such a stinker. I love you so much. Only in the morning can I steal her into my jacket. I guess. So we've learned. Okay, let's figure out why you can't learn STEM skills right now. Why is it not working? Did it disconnect from the Wi-Fi? Excuse me. I might have. There's my toes.
You know what? I'm gonna tack my toes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's connected. Do. PBS Kids. Do they not have any live streams right now? Oh, they have multiple live streams. I didn't know that. Let's see. You can learn STEM. You can explore and learn and have fun with Phoebe and Jay. Oh, that's cute, like PB and J. Maybe, I don't know. Help solve treeborhood problems with the Work It Out Wombats, Daniel Tiger, or Winter Weather Hunters, or Super Y. I don't know. Which one do you feel most fulfilled by? Let's go with Phoebe and J because it sounds like PB and J. And you can pretend you're one of the main characters. It's perfect. Perfect. Hello. It's perfect. It's cold by the window. You don't want to be in the window. It's winter out. Like, I don't care. We're gonna play peekaboos in the tunnel. Fair. There you go, monkey. You coming around? Hi. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. I'm making it too easy for her by bopping this. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Oh, you got me. Oh, you got me. Oh my goodness. You're so tough and brave and wild. You got me. I'm coming around the other side. I hear your purr before I see you. It's quite funny. Peekaboo. 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 Think you're so stealthy. Peekaboo. Aboo. 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 And peekaboo. And peekaboo. It was so passive. What are you doing, woman? She wants to be playful, but she's just walking around purring, feeling lovey. It's like half an effort. Peekaboo. 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 Hello, Stinky Butters. You got the other side? You're so brave. Oh my god, you did it! You finally did it! You're so brave. She's been hesitant to go through the arms of the thing. Oh god, did you climb under the blanket? Oh honey, you miscalculated that one. You're not gonna be able to get up from that. Oh my gosh. Did you hurt your ego a little bit? You got stuck on the path of life. Peek. Peek. Oh, you're so wild. Oh, you're so wild. Oh my goodness. Where are you going now? Little gremlin. You're the funniest little trot. You're so cute and silly. You're so cute and silly. Blurp blurp. What's doing, Buttercup Brown?
And try it again. I know it's a good scratching chair. Peekaboo. Peek. You really don't know what you want today. You're very silly. Let's fill up your wall. Tidy oop. See if we can find some more teeth. Maybe. Maybe. It needs to not be so chilly. I just feel like I haven't warmed up from being outside with dogs. Oh my goodness, you ate big and good today. You ate big and good today. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Hi. Are you my helper? Now you're gonna be a crazy squirrel. I saw a squirrel through her window yesterday or the day before. It looked like it had gotten in a terrible fight with something. It wasn't like actively, visibly injured, but it was. No, it had like marks on his side. I felt bad. Oh, how kind. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, raiders. I hope everyone's having a beautiful night so far. Welcome to my world and the stream, The Dreams Project, featuring Little Miss PB. Just having a little existential crisis at the moment. My little foster friend. Hope everyone's having a wonderful night so far. Are you having fun being a crazy girl? She's the cutest thing in the whole world. What you doing, Goober? Aww. What are their names? Sweet little bubs. She's the cutest little thing. I think she's about 14 weeks old. Maybe a little bit older. She's a little street kitty rescue. Learning how to be a house cat. She's grown up so big and brave. She was in pretty rough shape when I picked her up. Oh, she's being extra brave. She's learning how to run out of the arm of the tunnel. You can do it. Or you can just be a little, I don't know, you look like a hedgehog. Little hedgehog butt. Little hedgehog butt. She has no idea what she's trying to accomplish. Did you get shy, PV? Oh, goodness. Dr. Snowman. Aw, that's such a cute name. Thirsty girl. Thirsty, thirsty. Dr. Snowman is a very cute name. So right now we're on a slight mission to see if we can find more baby teeth. So far I've found 4 of her baby teeth, which is crazy to me. Because usually you find none of them. But I'm hoping I'll find a couple of more when I flip her blanket over. I think she ends up getting stuck in them, or getting them stuck into the blanket while she is playing. And that's how they end up falling out. She's a smart kid. She wants to pull out her own teeth. You collapsed your tunnel, darling. Oh my goodness. Maybe not. You're lucky the one day we found 2. Don't see more though. You really don't lay in this bed. Maybe if we put it up here, you'll lay in it. Although you're just a little too big for it now, maybe, perhaps. I'm taking a break from teething. You just might be. She's getting her PBS education in the corner. Hi, sweet girl. Oh no, I know. I interrupted your zoomies. I'm so rude. Oh, I just realized when I first brought her home, she was snuggling with this a lot, which is like it has like a little fake heartbeat in it, and you can heat it up and make it warm. I just realized I haven't seen her snuggle with it in weeks. She's finally feeling secure, happy, stable, satisfied. She's very chill for roughly whatever her age is, I would say. She's not a crazy psycho kitten. The last litter I fostered would literally climb all the way up me and like jump on me like spider monkey style. What you doing, sis? Oh, she wants to play peekaboo. And she's really pretty chill. It's a good way of describing her. She just loves peekaboo. She'll con you into peekaboo for hours. Peek. 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 I feel so bad. She has to get her last round of kitten shots tomorrow. She's gonna hate me. She's gonna think I betrayed her. Aw, thank you so much for the follow. PB, give hugs. Give hugs. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the cult. It is whatever you want it to be, baby. So choose your own adventure. Choose wisely, and apparently PB is. We're having a wonderful night so far. You going, Gremlin? You know, you're missing quite a few toys. Did you knock them under the furnitures? Is that a good spot? She's like, hold on a minute. I usually have a million more toys over here. What's going on, Mom? All right, Tiny. Aw. You crazy. Where'd your fishy go? You love kicking on your fishy. You crazy. See if I can figure out where all your toys disappeared to. Somewhere under the furniture. Where, I don't know, but we'll find out. Little crazy monster. Little crazy monster. Are there any under this chair? No, she tends to hide them all into like one place. She's a collector. Doop. Good catch. Under here, there's Fishy. Fishy, fishy, fishy. She's enamored by this thing. It's not like she knows what a fish is. I didn't pull her out of a lake. But she's fascinated. You are enamored by the idea of that. Let's get these. This. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to throw the spring at you. It's meant to give it to you. You had 2 Chewy toys, and I don't know where those went. Doot. Doot. Go get your fish. You can get the other teething toy. Here's your other teething toy. It's a little ugly catnip fish. Fishy girl. Oh, fish is upside down. Sorry, fish. Fish don't swim like that. Boop. He giving you kisses. He loves you. You're just confused. Believe it or not, she'll actually pick that one up and carry it around. Which is quite something. Quite something. Thank you again for the raid. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate it.
The Serenas are taking over the world. You gonna steal your fish? Oh no, we're gonna go for more fun fish. Okay. I love just watching the wheels turn in her head. Kitten brain is unmatched. It is unmatched. I know that one has catnip. I didn't know that when I bought it. They do make teething toys for cats, but like very few of them. And they're all catnippy. You're a little too young for that. But what are we gonna do? You're teething. You're so determined just to hold it and chew it. You're a little dog. You got that dog in you. Oh my goodness, darling. You're so cute and silly. You're so cute and silly. I cannot believe how big and healthy and strong she is. She was in such a sorry state in the beginning of January when I brought her home. And she's like thriving now. She's doing amazing. Never seen a more symmetrical cat except for Charlie. Your stripes are perfect. They're perfect. They're perfect. It's behind you, Goofy. It's behind you. She's a very smart hunter, too. She'll wait till something stops or slows down and then go for it. Her kitty mama, not her human mama, but her kitty mama, taught her well. You were running out of energy a little bit there. That was kind of half-assed. More peekaboo? Goofy goose. Goofy goose. I'm so grateful she is thriving. I've done both a lot of rescue work and not a lot of rescue work. I don't know how to measure the impact of anything, but I've done a lot, but I still have a lot to learn. And she was the first one that ever really, really, really made me nervous. Hi, baby. She was a grown-up cat. It would have been a little less scary, the state that she was in, but her being, I don't know, somewhere between like 5 and 8 weeks, because I think she's older than I think she is, at that time made her so vulnerable. The only other time I was more scared was when I rescued one of my boys, one of my street cats, who's now one of my boys, and he came in all ripped up like from a predator or something, and that was horrible. He was in a very, very bad state, but thankfully he was a grown-up. Thankful. Thankful. I find rescue work very meaningful. It should, at the very least, if the most we can do in life is do some good for others, that's kind of what it's really all about. And you're just a humble idiot. You need people help and intervention. I feel like she's on the road to do a complete crash out somersault. You got it. You're gonna get pinched because you're Irish tomorrow. You're gonna get your little rabies vaccine. I'm hoping so much. I have a TNR appointment scheduled on the 18th. And I'm very, very deeply hoping that despite the weather, someone will come by tomorrow night of the 4 that I take care of outside. No one's come by tonight so far, I'm pretty sure. Look at the camera. So I gotta bring the bowls in out there soon.
And I think it's too snowy for anyone to want to come around tonight. I don't know. Funny how the camera identifies the trap as a package. Nope. No frequent flyers tonight. It's gonna be a little colder tomorrow, but less snowy, I think. So hopefully they should feel comfortable to come by. Like, they're smart. They're gonna hide out and keep themselves warm, but geez Louise. Geez Louise, you have to tell your wild brethren to get caught so that they can get spayed and neutered and vaccinated. And then have a safer and healthier life because it's baby season. And as cute as you are, we cannot have 1,000 of you sitting in shelters. Little Miss Peavy. They can't do that. Can't do that. You're so very silly. You love that darn fish. Sweet sissy girl. You want to do a couple more peekaboos? We'll give Tiger and Pippi some smooches. Bop into some games for tonight. Oh, hello. That's my Pete's you going for. Little stinky bow. I thought you wanted to peekaboo. Maybe you do from over here. Peek. Peek. Oh, you gonna get me. You're so tough and brave. You're so tough and brave. Peek. Peek. Oh, the hunter approaches. You coming back around? You little creeper. You little creeper. Peek. No? Okay, the force is back in balance. All of my toys are everywhere. What you doing? Oh, you thirsties. You played really big and hard. I don't blame you for being thirsties. She has the tiniest little, like, paws at the bowl. I'm feeling because she was born in winter. Like, she learned some from her mom, but probably not enough. Like, in terms of chasing bugs or burying things in the frozen ground. Like, she didn't get all of the kitty exposure therapy that she needed. She's a thirsty girl. Good job, my little hamster. You're a sweet little bean. I can't tell if you're, like, big or small in cat terms. I just can't tell. You're just very cute, that's all. Take your potty break. I'll be in to snuggle you because you gotta get shots tomorrow. I'm more nervous than she is, probably. She had a reaction to her last 2 rounds of shots, or her first 2 round of shots, her last 2 round of shots, whichever. I'm like preemptively having the anxiety for if she has a reaction tomorrow. I don't know if she gets more boosters, but I know she gets a rabies shot tomorrow. Which that one's usually a rough one. Poor little stinker. Hi, Ty. It's the Tiger and Pippi Hour. Brought to you by the zoo. Made possible by viewers like you. What you doing, stink bug? You're so silly. You're so silly. You had a crisis of what to do there. Do you want this? I thought your sister wanted this. Do you want this? You've been really into the lobster toy lately. What? What? Hello, stinky bug. Stinky bug. Come here, son.
Hi. You smell so good. He got a bath last night. Got to wash the shelter smells off finally. He's feeling very fresh and fly. Very fresh and fly today. He's a happy as butt boy. He's almost doing the kitty cat curl. Almost. Apparently it takes a lot for that one. I don't know. Pippi, you're rolling all over my phone. You're rolling all over my phone. You silly. You silly. You want to snuggle? Hi. Hello. Oh, you're gonna snuggle here. Be really mindful about like everything stepping on hair. Oh my god, you just put your chest in my face that's smushed. That was not very mindful. Goofy goose. Ow, I have a very fragile nose, buddy. You smushed my nose. Ow, ow, ow. I have a very fragile nose. You smushed my nose. It's not actually hurt, it just hurts. I've broken my nose many times. It is a fragile creature. Come here. Roly poly more mindfully. Ty. You can't stare at TV. I know she's a baby and I know she's really cute. But oh, are you gonna do Superman's? Super dog! Dog! You got too happy and hype. He does something that I used to do with backup that I was never able to do with Chauncey, where I can just pull him back into my arms, and it's so cute. Come in. Hi. Come here. Tiger. Tiger. Stop staring at Phoebe. Oh, do you want the love and Phoebe? You can have them too. You can have them too. Thank you. Nope. Nope. I find it so amazing the difference between like how dogs act when you're distracted, even if you're not distracted per se, versus if you're not entirely. Like obviously I have stream running right now, and the same thing happens when I'm on the phone, where they just don't take me as seriously when I'm saying no, because they know that I'm half of my brain is focused on something else. Ty, no. Good boy. Don't step on Pippi. Be mindful. Thank you. You are very mindful with your feet. I appreciate that. You're a sure-footed horse. Oh my god. Dog stack. Dog stack. Pippi, don't get too close. You're in the danger zone there. Oh my goodness. Hello, son. Look at your baby ears. Look at the cutest little baby ears. Oh, you have the same weird piece of cartilage that Chauncey did. Maybe most pits have it, but you're only the second pit I've ever met that has it. Boop, 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 boop. Nope. Hey. Guess what? You live... Oh, you're trying not to sit on Pippi. Okay, I understand. You live a stream dog life, which means you have to listen on stream too. In case you didn't know. In case you didn't know. I know, you're like, Mom, you put me there. I know. Turn around. Thank you. Where's your thing? There. Come on. You can come over here. You just can't stare at Petey. You just can't stare at Petey. It doesn't work that way. Oh, hello, good boy. He's roly poly oly. Oh, this one's the one you like. There you go. Debbie, do you want the lobster? Do you want the lobster? Bloop. Bloop. Oh, you just might. You just might.
You go wild about it. Nope. We're not looking at PB. Thank you. Thank you. Nope. Nope. It's like, oh bother. Nope. Nope. Good boy. You gotta kind of learn that you have to listen even when I'm a little distracted. Oh, he's a roly-poly-oly. Oh, he's a roly-poly-oly. Oh, he's a roly-poly-oly. You're just full of the happies. You're gonna full-on somersault doing that, I swear. He's like PB. Good lord. Good lord. Nope. Thank you. Good boy. Good boy. See, getting lovins is so much better than staring at the baby kitten. Oh, 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 oh. I know. Hello. Are you a lap dog? Are you a lap dog? Lap doors. Very confused lap doors. Makes me wonder, like, is his face itchy? Like, does he have allergies going on there? But he's not really red about it. Nope. Good boy. Good boy. You're gonna steal the lobster? But Pippi was playing with the lobster. That was Pippi's. You just put it in the corner. You just stole it. You just stole it and put it in the corner. It's for Pippi. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. Nope. Can't stare at Pippi. Nope. Good boy. Thank you. Thank you, crazy boy. You're very silly. No. Were you itching your ears? Okay. Oh, you have a scar in your ear. Little baby boy. Did someone nibble your ear in a former life? You're such a big blockhead. You're such a big blockhead. Oh my goodness. Oh, no staring at Phoebe. Nope. Hi. Nope. Turn around. Thank you. Good boy. Oh my God. Your skull into my kneecap. Jesus Christ, my son. You feeling your oats tonight? You feeling your oats tonight? Say, I feel the kisses. And can you feel the love to love? You're so silly. You're so silly. You're so silly. Stop staring at peeps. Here. Nope. No. Nope. 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 There you go. Does that make you happy? Mr. Rumble Tumbles. Blub 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 blub. Blub blub blub. Blub blub blub. Oh my God! Okay, that time you're going to dance again. You guys stop bleeding. We had a nose casualty. A nose casualty. Oh my goodness. That was dramatic. Yeah, I said sorry though. I gave kisses and I gave paw, and it's okay now. You have a perfect heart shape on your head. You're very cute. You're very cute. My goodness, you knocked some brain cells out of me or knocked some sense into me. Thank you all for being patient with me. The snuggles got too snuggly. They got too snuggly. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Boo boo booger. No. Back up. He's a good boy. It wasn't your fault. I asked for snuggles and you delivered. You delivered. You delivered. Yes, you did. Mr. Gunther, your little guard cat, went up to the door to greet Ty to defend his territories. Very cute and silly. Plug this back in. I sound all nasally now. That's annoying. C'est la vie. I love that he felt comfortable enough to snuggle that intensely. But she is of the fragile snoot. Goodness golly. Alright, I'm thinking some Republic Commando is the vibe for tonight again. I'm here for it. I had to update my drivers earlier and it did something to where like one of my monitors didn't turn on in consecutivity with everything else. And I completely forgot I set this up a way that was so beneficial. Because it opened up to the PlayStation and I was like, what the heck? How is that connected? Because it has both inputs in it. So instead of moving my window out there, it's just there waiting for me. It's perfect. I don't know, it's probably less steps to do it through OBS, but this pleases me. Where is games? There. Oh my god. Ow. Swap on Twitch. Launch. We won with the game first. Let me click over. Thank you. Oh, no. There's so many Star Wars games. Oh my god. That's incredible. hurts so much. I don't have any ice packs. I don't make ice because I don't consume ice. I have nothing like squishy and frozen. I have like Tupperware dishes. I don't want to hold a Tupperware dish on my face. Did I open a new game? I don't even know. My power is flickering.
01/138.
It was very quick though.
Great things from you.
I don't know if I opened the right thing. I don't know if stream is gonna blurp out. My power just blipped. Date format breaks my brain. I don't know if it blipped, but it might have. And if the power merped itself, I assume the Wi-Fi did too.
Can any of you get through? No signal here, sir.
Oh, what are we
It's
doing?
all white noise
here?
on
I
my end,
forget.
boss. 6-2 out.
That's a negative, squad leader. 4-0 out.
Love was very confused last
Not
night.
important. Right, sir?
Right, 40. If the
The door.
advisor can re-establish comms, he will. In the meantime, we've got some data to retrieve. Move out, Delta.
There's indoor doors. I have hope. I have faith. I am reassured. What doors did we get? Not a door. That's where I came in. No? Yes. Oh. Who's making that sound?
Minox in the torpedo bay.
Weird.
Our ship thieves can stand to learn something about Republic discipline.
Oh.
Deltas, report in. Any signs of life?
7 here. I've got nothing. This is Delta 4-0. No life signs yet.
6-2 reporting. Nothing but Minox, sir. It's disgraceful. If Thurman keep eating through the power conduits, this ship won't be worth its weight in scrap.
Oh, that's why the power flickered.
Wait, now it's gone. Strange.
You're chewing through. You are a dead end. Need chapstick. Otherwise I'm gonna keep trying to lick my lips, and that's painful. I cannot believe you snuggled that hard. I can, but oh my god. So much love.
6-2 again. I'm getting that static stronger this time. I can hardly see.
How did I crouch?
What the? 6-2. Delta 6-2, can you hear me? Report. Get off me, you frowning bag of bolts! 6-2.
Low light mode. Helpful.
Deltas, I've lost 6-2. Are either of you close enough to monitor his status? Report.
Oh no.
Negative, sir. No deltas on my scope either, sir.
Well, that's not good. Access aft data core. Okay. Oh, was it them that was making the silly sound?
You're a commando. Thank goodness.
What happened here?
I'm not sure. I was
Don't open?
scanning the maintenance corridors when I heard blaster fire. By the time I got to where the noise was, everyone was dead.
So you came to the
Rope
torpedo
person.
to hide.
No, sir. I was trying to launch a torpedo and alert the Republic.
Alert
But
the
you're here
Republic.
now, so no need for that, eh?
Look
Thanks
out.
for the rescue.
Am I supposed to help him? I'm not open.
Good genes.
I think all of these are solid. Oh, no, it's open though. Merp. Checkpoint. we going? So stealthy. Well,
Those things tried to draw my head. Deltas, I think I just found out what happened to 6-2. Some kind of scavenger droid. Keep your eyes out for
am I
static.
going backwards?
Fixer,
It might be.
keep scanning for 6-2. I don't want to become a three-man squad.
You are shooting at me. Oh, because I'm in low light, it's not showing red like you're an enemy. Wow. Oops.
We've got some trooper casualties here, Deltas. From the looks of things, there's something worse than droids on the ship.
That makes a little more sense. Sheesh. Little gremlin he is. Not cute little gremlin like Peavy. Snarky little gremlin. Why are they making that all important if it's not okay? Rude. I think I came in from that way. They were all flying this way. It has to mean something. I really didn't ever think we'd have a use for low light mode. I appreciate this. Where are we now? That looks new. I'll take it.
Way to go, little guy. Whoever stole the ship has done some redecorating, Deltas. The aft
Are
data
you
core access hole
bad
is
or
blocked
good
by
or
debris.
neutral?
You feel like a good crawl, sir. The
I don't
only
know.
way around
Now
that
you're
area
knocked
is
over.
through the droid access conduits.
Oh, we're behind where
You
we
might
came
have
in.
to slice your
Decent.
way in.
Is that one? I think we're full on health. Yes. For once ever. Oh, are you getting comfy cozy? Oh, he's getting comfy cozy. He's such a good and sweet boy.
Just have to override the access restrictions.
So there's shooting at me in this moment. Can we not? I'm gonna die.
Conduit should emerge.
Jesus.
Right by
Sir,
me.
you okay?
Sir, you okay? Oops. Didn't expect that to be so sudden. Humbled. Humbling. I'm presuming I'm not going backwards. There's the vent thing.
Those things tried to draw my head. Deltas,
Well, there's
I think
other
I
one.
found
Oh,
out
they
what
spawned
happened
from
to
behind me,
6-2.
you
Some kind of
stinkers.
scavenger droid. Keep your eyes out for static. Fixer, keep scanning for 6-2. I don't want to become a three-man squad.
Goodness golly. Crouch around. Sounds very dramatic.
We've got some trooper casualties to go Delta guy. From the looks of things, there's something worse than droids on the ship. Whoever
Why
stole
does
the ship has
it
done some
blurb at me?
redecorating, Deltas. The aft
And
data
it's
core
guarded.
access hole is blocked by debris.
Rude.
Good crawl, sir. The only way around that area is through the droid access conduits.
Lovely.
You might have to slice your way in.
Lovely.
Just have to
Lovely.
override the access restrictions.
Those all by you? Oh, I guess there's multiples of you. That's rude. Where? There you are. Jesus, you're right in front of me. It like opens its tail like a little alien face sucker. It's weird. Oh my god, no! No! Oh god.
More droids for the scrap heap.
Huh? So it's better if it jumps on my head? Because then I was able to just grab it and throw it. I don't feel like that's a good strategy. Long term. Or even short term. In any term. 6 seconds left. 8 seconds.
Got it.
The conduit should emerge somewhere near the starboard data core. Right by me.
Okay, stay put. We'll run
Very
it through
helpful
with the core.
arrows. Learn to achieve maximum combat efficiency. Some guys say they need to get in the zone. Sir, I live in the zone.
There you are, sir.
Fair.
We're close enough to monitor each other's status.
What's your position, sir?
Aw, we're
I'm in the
close.
starboard data core. Should be
So I mean it's
reporting
hot
radio.
here? That's a little scary. Like just keep swimming kind of mentality here. What did I think I could like pick up the helmet? I find those uncomfortable. Where are you, my dear Seven? That's where we came in. None of these doors. Did you get his head blown off? It's not a good look. Where do you want me to go? There's no
there you
more
are.
go. Oh,
Give me a minute and I'll join you.
we had to do like a Romeo and Juliet moment.
Sensor logs. That did it.
Okay.
Now, hold on. Got some static here.
Oh no.
Sam, can
Who are you?
Come in, Sam.
No.
46-2, come in. Be on the lookout for armed hostiles. I think
God.
we've got Trandoshans. They've taken down 7. Delta Squad, come in.
Here 3
That's uncomfortable. Oh my god. I heard something boom. Oh, you make me uncomfortable. Oh no, not that one. Not that one either.
Those lizards are too fat to fit in the droid access shaft. They never catch
Too
me
close
in
for
there.
comfort. Too close for comfort. Can someone just chill their distance for 1 second? I'm trying so hard. I'm panicking. We're panicking. Lord. Oh my god. Health critical. Oops. I don't think we can jump that high. It's for the access the starboard data core. Where would that be? Do we need to speak again? Where the heck do you want me to go? Where do I go from? Oh. You. No. I can't afford to lose any more health. Crikey. I'm guessing that's correct. It's a checkpoint. Ah, you little guys make me nervous. I'm scared of them too, little carpet sweeper dude. They're spooky ooky. Please have a health machine somewhere. I didn't mean to get absolutely annihilated by reptilians. It was an accident. No, not more. Not more. No. Oh god, there's an R2. Sorry. Shoot. 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 I'm cooked. There's only imminent danger. How is that actually functional? Health machine. No. Oh god. You're so sneaky. So sneaky. No, don't get stuck. Jesus. I have the worst maneuvering techniques. Not techniques, they're suggestions of what not to do. Why is that the best gun for you guys? That doesn't really make much sense. Can I loot around for health now, please? Goobers. I feel like I'm getting way off base here. I feel so bad for shooting an R2. It wasn't nice. This looks the most probable. I don't know why. I'm just guessing. One that's charging. Just chilling, waiting it out. We come in through? I think so. I think so. Why are there extra hallways there? Do we not go that way because fire bad? I guess. It's a fair assessment. Fire bad. I guess down we do go. I need a health machine. I am in trouble. Hello, friend. Little friend. Whoop! Why didn't the barrel explode you? It should have. That would have been nice.
You lizards need to learn that I'm a lot scarier than you are.
As I'm actively dying. Okay, sure. I mean, yay goodies, but... That was supposed to be the way. I guess I have enough of those. Oh shoot, I quick saved. I thought I was opening if we potentially have a map. Oh, that was horrible. I have severely disadvantaged myself. Sploot. That's where the R2 is creeping. There's nothing down here. I don't think. No, there's just the one door. It's not Doom. The broken doors don't open. I feel like I should be able to go through there. Let me. No. What if I want to? That's rude. I'm taking myself all the way back to the beginning again. I don't know where I'm going. Ship is too big. I don't think we have a map. I think that was very optimistic. Oh, is there no undo button for quick save? At least now I know it's that button. Can you tell me things? No. I didn't think you would, but you never know. Are you? R2? You're just talking for the fun of it. Sounds like he knows things. I don't think that's a thing, friend. He's a prankster. What the hey? is improbable to just be a dead end. I'm consulting the professionals. There should be a comprehensive walkthrough. It's old enough. Where are we? Infiltrate the Droid Foundry? Oh, that's rude. You found a link to a page that didn't exist yet. I thought I found a really good one. The first part that I saw was very detailed. Is there an IGN one? Sometimes there's good ones on Steam. Oh, they made it into videos. I don't particularly want the video version. Oh my god. It's so uncomfy. GameSpy. They're decent sometimes. Exactly what I'm looking for now. Just where are we? Oh. Ow. I'll be right back. We'll figure out where to go. We can do it. I think. It has to be possible. Hi, baby peeps. All better. Hey, Bubbaloo. Wait. It's so cozy cute. You're so cozy cute. Oh, I'm chilly. It's cold in the real world. Oh, we're way ahead of that. I think. I don't remember being in a red zone. I kind of remember this. Maybe. Doesn't say where we are. God damn it. I think I went too far. There. Why didn't it open to the beginning? Rude. There's the start. I found such a detailed walkthrough. There's so much to scroll through. Access aft data core. That's something we just did, I think. Find Delta 07. There's something to disarm somewhere. Oh, he got killed? I thought he was just owie. Placing the cursor on the landmine. I'm playing on a PlayStation. So whenever we do get where we're going, you see the console, but approach it only if you're ready to run when enemies show up. I'm gonna die. And I quick saved at this level of health. Oh my god. That's smart. You're not showing me where you are, but you're something. You have to be somewhere. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Will one of these open for me? Yep. Okay. Uh-oh. Don't hurt my friend.
I didn't think anyone used projectile weapons anymore.
Well, here we are.
Delta, they're using mines, remember. Only motion sets them off. We need to crouch underneath their sensor cones to advance close enough to disarm them.
You can't just yoink your gun. Boo. I think we go through there. Oh, shit. That would have been desirable. I think that's where all the trouble happens. Is there a health machine somewhere? Please. Otherwise, I am screwed. Nope. Fabulous. Okay. If I want the other one, we'll swap it. Oh my god, there's a health machine. Thank god. Now, redo the quick save. Oh god. Where? You? Stinky butt.
Just a quick slice. I wish Fixer were here. This is his specialty. Good. It looks like we have records of everything that's happened since the ship went offline.
Ooh. Oh. It was terrible timing. It was terrible. Hey now, stop that. Stop, stop, stop. It was very rude.
Since the logs retrieved, here's something odd. A data file, but it's not a Republic code. Better bring this back to command.
Back to where? I think I know directions. It's very cute. Thank you for readjusting yourself for me. Where are you now? What has gone no fair? Now they have a pitter patter to their feet. It was so silent before. Is that the only way up? Another little friend somewhere. Oh no, you creeped up. Goodness golly. Guys. There's still more of you? Is that unnecessary? Why don't they stop? Just keep coming. Goodness golly. What door needs to be closed on you?
This should connect with our data core access home.
Oh, why do I always do that? I need more health, and I need to finish the timer on that one. I think the music means we're safe. It sounds like safety music. Oh no, we did finish that one. That looks very suspicious.
It's completely wrecked. How could they have done this much damage so quickly? Defensive turrets are active. At least they're on our side for now. If the lizards know
As
how
long
to
as they're
slice the control
far enough
console,
away, grenades
this
are
could
good.
fall apart in a hurry.
Fire is probably bad. Oh, your friend, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Better not let them take over the turrets.
Whoops. Oh, I think he's taking over the turret. That's not good. Don't do that. I don't know. I don't think it's anything I'm in charge of.
Save us with your superior training.
This deluxe model is the only thing standing
My
between you and
superior
bloody death.
training.
So you'd best be showing some respect, trooper.
Oh, am I supposed to go? I was just wandering.
Kill any lizards you see. I'm gonna get to the bottom of
I'm
this.
so tired of these. Welcome, Cyanogenix. Only safety music you know of is the safety dance. What is the safety dance? It's not this. This is the too close for comfort dance.
It's too bad only commandos get back to processing the plants. I could use the help.
You've just all spawned everywhere for everything, haven't you? That's not gonna do anything. Oh yeah, well, okay. I'll take it. Look at this little gremlin goober. Ah, I don't know what I thought I was doing there. Merp. Merp. There's one more. Where did he go? I don't know.
Where do you think you're going?
Placed on a cracker. Stop! There's too many of you. It's enough. It's enough. Let me loot and heal. Loot and heal. Loot and heal. A girl just wants to loot and heal. How am I at full health? Okay. I thought I was dying. I didn't even look, I just assumed. It's a song, Wage, you might recognize it when you hear it. It's not the Dumb Ways to Die video, is it? Train safety. If you want to throw out the Discord, I would like to enjoy this. Pardon. Unless it's gonna make me, like, cackle, like, die laughing. I can't die laughing right now. Wait, do I have, like, an option of picking these up? Why are you glowing? I don't know what that means. I don't have time to figure out what that means. I don't know how to toggle, yes. What a Google that would be. I want to pick up his gun. I want it. How do I have it? How do I get it? All I'm doing is changing my own weapons. Oh, shoot. No, I can't grab the pistol. Oh my god. Serena. Serena.
Deltas, kill the
Need
ones with the
Google.
mats first. Delta squad coming.
I need Google. Unless they mention it in the walkthrough. No. It's like so detailed, but still so compressed. How to pick up PlayStation 4, although it probably doesn't matter which one. How to pick up glowy guns in Star Wars Republic Commando. Press the use button, the action button, A or X on the PS. I thought I did that.
Are you receiving?
Does it need to be telling me things about it? I want you. I want you. I want you so bad. What? Is it? No. Whoa. The game is already so zoomed in. It's hilarious that we can zoom in even further. Ah! I am pressing X. it's finally telling me what to do, but I think you're right about standing directly over it. But now it's just not letting me. Come to me. Do I need to press and just hold it for forever? I want it. Can I just not have this one? I don't, maybe it's out of bullets. I think something pops up at some point to show me that it's empty or full. Rawr, 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 rawr. It makes me curious if that's a glitch when, like, the game was put on PS4 or whatever. Like, it's just not compatible, but at the same time, I would think that it being a digital version, at least, it would be patched to be compatible. Either I'm pressing the wrong X and there's another X on the controller that I don't know about, or I don't know. Maybe I need to be holding something else. I don't know. That's unfortunate. I wanted it. Try for whatever the next glowy one is, and then decide if it's an imminent threat to my sanity. Oh, I'm gonna die. Why did I not think that would be that bad? I really just do be standing out in the open fire. Like, it's just fine.
The second set of turrets isn't active. I'll bet I can use them to cover my back.
Oh. Ew! Let's go with some square action. Maybe. I'm not good with Xbox controller. I don't know why. I'm awkward with the Switch one, but Xbox is even worse. I needed to hover and say press X. There. No, not square, not triangle. Not stabby O. X is a no. Square's no. Triangle's a jump. That's not it. I don't think shooting at it is gonna help me. Oh, definitely grenading myself is not. That's what happens when you just go and press all the buttons. Not L2. Not up. Or left. Or right. Or down. Wait, does that mean I have it? I'm not pretending to try to know anything anymore ever again for the rest of my life. I don't know if that picked it up. Wait, where was the other thing? I don't have another slot open to get that one. I think I have it though. I just don't know how I got it. I am befuddled. I'm happy though. I think it was down arrow. It looks like it. I'm thinking so. Oh. This looks troublesome. That was way more like trouble than it was worth though. Slice the rear turrets. It sounds unfortunate. Maybe I just, if you have it, you can't pick up more except individually. I don't know. It's kind of slow. But that's okay.
It's working. Yeah.
Until I start getting hit. I can do this. Access the flight recorder. It was very confusing, but also kind of magical. Oh, hello. Oh, you're on your way to me. Oh my god, you're right there. Hello. Up-a-dop-a-dop-a-do. Where are you going? Oh my god, you're right behind me. Hello. Ah. Oh my god, guys. I can only bunny hop so far for so much with all of this going on here, okay? I can only do so much. Crikey. Goodness golly gosh. I nuked myself, but that went way better. GG's. So is that ammo for this? Hi. I don't know. I'm not pretending to know anything anymore. Well, I never pretended to know anything in the first place, but I'm not pretending like I can know anything about this anymore. Oh, don't nuke me. No. Naughty. Thought there was one more. The music is really dramatic in the background. No. I think I came in from the other side. Let me go through here.
Countess, if you can read me, I'm headed for the rendezvous point. Deltas.
They're healthy. Deltas! My friend's dead. The walkthrough alluded to that. Thought there was one more of you. I really just thought he had an entirely different face. I didn't consider that was a helmet or a mask. That was humbling. Oh.
I'm in the starboard landing gear section. Rendezvous at the designated coordinates.
Copy that, boss. Heading there now.
What a mess.
Is that health or splodies? It looks maybe splody. Splody! Just keep retreating. Just keep retreating. Just keep retreating. Do we retreat? Oh no. Oh, that's such a brutal reload time. Don't want that. You. I can't hit that with. Not that. Oh, what a sneaky little stinker. Okay, don't you want to shoot me? Move over here. Didn't know I can't crouch without moving. Blasted turrets. Merp. The world's guess is as good as mine.
This place is crawling with dreaded oceans.
Tell me about it.
Explodey thing. No, you focused on the wrong thing. Take him out. God, isn't there enough of you guys everywhere? What are you even shooting at? You're just shooting for fun in the corner. How do we still have full health? The game is scamming me in an interesting way tonight. I believe in retreat, considered advancing toward retirement. I mean, bedtime is soon. I wouldn't mind advancing towards retirement.
They don't watch more explosive barrels. IEDs, improvised explosive devices.
Is that really what IED stands for? I'm consistently explosive.
I hate those bloody droids.
They are rather annoying. Oh, no, you're too close for comfort. Don't do that. No. No. You're very dodgy and weavy, sir. Not that. Right, out of the other one. I suppose. My little scopy one. That one's nice. Booms. Did nothing to you, but it was satisfying for me. It was good for me. Now we have the blaster back. Now I'm lost again. So IED stands for not just in Star Wars. I didn't know that. I don't know. I really don't know what I thought it stood for. It sounds so
This is 4-0. I'm encountering heavy resistance.
homemade.
Might be a bit late to the RV.
Ah, I don't want this gun for this. Sounds a little too homemade. I guess that's kind of the point of it. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Is there a health machine in here, or was that further behind me? Okay, I guess just walking over it picks it up if I can. That appears to be what just happened. I suppose. I don't feel like that's somewhere I could go. I thought there was health somewhere. No. I dares. I dares with the lacks of the health. I dares. It sounds like the same voices in Aladdin. Cave of Wonders. Ah, there it is. I found it. They're homemade and sometimes innocuous. So it made them dangerous. You never know what you're gonna get. That makes sense, I suppose. It does have like a Unabomber vibe to it. I guess when I think like about it in a news context sense, I assume that it's like military produced and not homemade. And I never quite put two and two together on that. That not everything in troubled times is military grade. I just never considered that until now. I live in a bubble. That looks like danger. Floor is leaking. Oh god. No, no. Naughty. Naughty. Don't get all up in my business. This gun is horrible for you. I'd like to switch over. Takes so much to do so little. You go here. The areas. The airs.
I hope Scorch made it to the Port d'Abercorn.
It's scary and sad. I cannot imagine being in an environment of such.
No activity. Keep
That
your
means
eyes
I'm very privileged.
Ambush.
Ah! No, the little floor guys aren't naughty, but they still spook me. Ah. They like pause before they die. Shit. It's so confusing. Oh, fuck it. But I really hit myself too. Maybe there's a barrel. I'll be damned. I really do just have to walk over it and not press anything. That's something. You are way too close. Too close, too close, too close. Bad reload time, bad reload time. It's a whole other way of using their own weapon against me. I don't think we're going that way. That way is on fire. There's no oxygen in space. How dangerous would fire be in space?
Be
Like,
advised.
self-contained in a ship where there
Watch
is
for ambushes.
oxygen, but like,
It's like they're slavers.
would it be more manageable than a house fire? That's a very, like, broad-range thought for not a broad-range Serena at this moment, but... It makes me want... I don't want there to be a fire in space. That sounds bad. Fire... Oh, dead. Fire bad. But... Would it be a worse fire? Or would it be... the same? I'm sure it would matter whether it occurred, like, inside or outside of the ship. Might get your eyebrows singed. Sheesh.
Be advised. Trendos are lying in wait. Watch for ambushes.
It's like they're slavers.
Damn lizard people. Fire in a spaceship is super dangerous. Okay, worse than Earth fire then. I mean, I don't plan on committing arson with any spaceships, and certainly don't want it to happen, but you know, it's one of those forbidden thoughts that sometimes just makes it out of your mouth. I think you were falling around being a little fucker. Get off of me. Is he like drilling my helmet? Wolf. Where are you? Oh, there's a door behind me. It's through the door. You're a miserable bastard. Good Christ. Les Mis. Proceed to the rendezvous point.
Trandoshan proximity
Ah.
line.
The world of Star Wars, it's hard to know. I mean, it seems pretty contained in here. But it is also a fake world. It's also a video game. It has sound in space, so the rules go out the window. Space is incredible but terrifying. Okay, if you're not gonna defuse it, you can't run into it, Serena. I would never want to be an astronaut. It was like a genuine fear I had when I was a kid. Is that I would have to like go into space. Because we watched so much sci-fi and like space movies and everything had to do with space. And I really like, you know how you read books as a kid and you think that you're gonna have to encounter a lot of quicksand later in life? And then you don't? I was under that impression with space. It scared me. I would be too pussy to ever go up in space. It'd be once in a lifetime incredible experience, but I would be too much of a big baby to do it.
I'd stop doing that.
I wish they'd stop doing that too. I don't think I can defuse it from that fire. I don't know what to do with this. Oh, it's activating with proximity. Just stop trying. Just stop. Oh, God bless America. I heard another. I dares. Health. Healthy, healthy, health.
Another barricade? These
There's a
lizards
barricade
start
and a
to
tunnel.
nerves.
Quicksand really was enemy number one in cartoons. And in books. Between like Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys. Pretty much every adventure series. I think just about every other series I read had quicksand in it. But I like to read dangerously. He like didn't attack, he just like flexed at me. Oh my god. Uncomfy. I know you're not bad, but it scared me. The fuck are you? I'm gonna end up blowing you up, but sorry. Well, you're a smart little cookie. Maybe need a more reliable weapon at the moment. Is he a big bug guy? Oh god. I'm gonna get hurted. He's gonna shoot me. No, no, no. Go around. There's a corner. Somewhere. Will he advance? How did I... Oh, now I'm dead. I think I R3'd to scope in. That was unfortunate. Oh, yeah. That was unfortunate. Fixer. Just a friendly reminder, boss. Choose the best type of grenade for the job. Thermals against organics. Is a bug organic. ACDS against droids, and I didn't read the rest. Who dares? Voice is going to haunt me all night long. Who dares? There's a little tunnel over there. Is there like good stuff in there? Or I advanced all of the craziness. He's so green. He's like kick green when he sploots. What are you? Oh god. You little fucker.
Times have changed.
Bloop. Bloop. I don't know where that took me to. Oh. Somewhere. Oh. Right into trouble zone. Can I bring him out here? If I don't boom that, he'll end up shooting it from afar. And then it won't be good. He was too smart for the first grenade. I'm taking too much damage. Where's my corner? Jack Horner needs the corner. Oh my fucking god, what am I stuck on? Why am I so good at that? Is he advancing? Good. Okay, when I die this time, we can draw him into the explodey thing on the side. Ow. Hi, Gunther. Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up? I thought he was just staying stationary. Do you want to? You're being such a good boy and eating so good today. I'm proud of you. I can't believe you just didn't like your food. Come here. You just want to sit there. You can do that if that makes you happy, but you can also come up if that makes you happy too. I don't know. I'll give him the opportunity for a moment. Incoming? You gave me a paw. I know you want to. Come here. Just let mom charge the demolition. Thank you. Cozy. Cozy. Gunther says, hey, it's meow day. A little cutie pot pie. Mommy doesn't want to blow herself up. There we go. Oh, you guys are right there. Oopsies. Kind of forgot about that. Did I even get anything positive out of going in the secret spot? I don't think so. I cannot aim at you for the life of me. I don't think I need to repeat it.
What death's name is that?
Whee! Whee! I'm gonna end up zapping my friends too, but those didn't even reach him. Stop leaving your corner, you little goober. just need to draw him over here. Follow me. Oh my god, can you stop getting stuck on things? Thank you. Do it. Do it. Hello, friend. Dude, oh, he ran. What a little bitch. What a little bitch. What a little bitch. Don't hit the wall and hit me instead, please. It did hit me a little, but you know, that's life. Is it done for? Or just like taking a break? How are you still alive? Are you still alive? You are still alive! What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I'm cooked. I don't understand. Rocket launcher.
I just encountered a heavily armored Trandoshan. Definitely wasn't a slaver.
Roger. Must have been
Oof.
heavy assault mercenaries. Trandoshan elite.
Where was the health
I
machine?
heard they carry an LS-150 heavy ACP repeater.
You heard right.
That sounds fancy.
Nasty weapon.
Gunther, you want to be a desk kitty? Aw, shout out to like 2 years ago when you first decided to be brave enough to be a desk kitty. And I was so proud of you. I am so proud of you, but you're not like all freaked out by the concept anymore. It's like, I'm a little guy, I can fit. I will cheers to that. When in doubt, rock it out. What are you looking for, buddy? Now he's trying to climb my bookshelf. What is the thought process behind that, son? Gunther, you're flying a little close to the sun there. That is a whole pile of my stuff, sir. Oh. Sun. Sunny boy. Sunny boy. You're writing checks with your mouth that your ass can't cash. Well, technically with your feet, but... What are you doing? I'm a naughty little tux, and my name is Gunther. And my mom's too tired to finish the song. So we just smooch along. He's getting sick of my shit, but I love him so much. Oh. Gunther, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. I know, you don't like that I'm not sitting crisscross applesauce. I'm sorry. I'm so mean. I'm the worst. I'm the most horrible, non-accommodating human being to ever exist. Truly terrible.
I'm approaching the rendezvous point.
Quite awful.
I read you, sir.
But I really hate those scabs.
Okay, I know I'm repetitive, but like, how many times can you say that, really? Oh, that was... zazzed all of us. Stuff and things. Health machine. You're doing things. Stupid face sucker. Remove. Remove. His grumpy cat face. Elves himself. Getting sick of his shit. Oh yeah. Gunther needs like a children's a children's book written about him. He's so cute, but grumpy cat face does look like he has a lot to say. We're okay enough.
What just blew up?
Delta 4
Am I not allowed through that door?
Look out behind you!
Me or you? Oh, golly. Golly gee willikers, Batman.
The junction door controls are jammed. Running a bypass now. Sir, hold your
Oh my.
position.
Reload time.
Hold them off for a
I'm
few
surprised
more
that's not. Why am I only getting like one shot at a time? Oh, there we go. Because I'm mashing shoot while I'm.
seconds. Almost there.
Ah. Because I'm mashing shoot while I'm reloading. I think. I'm surprised that's not more effective on them.
Door opening.
I feel like just the rumbling force of the shotgun should shatter them to their core.
I got your back.
You're very helpful for that 140. Thanks.
Enemy droid targets ahead. Get out of here. Leave it, sir. Let's go.
Nope. What?
On your 638.
What do you want me to do, my friend? Isn't there a thing to disarm over there? I don't know. I want my completion points. Oh, that stops them from spawning. Hee hee. I didn't consider that because even though it shoots shotgunny, it doesn't look like a shotgun. Or it doesn't look very as shotgunny as I feel like it should. Kaboom! Health. That is pretty common, but I have no brain cells available tonight. Cough burned. Ow. Destroyed, decimated, or detonated. Or dead. I'm your man.
Heavy damage all over the ship.
That's cute.
Spread out. Flavors.
There are two of us. How are we supposed to spread out?
Great shooting, sir.
Don't boot my buddy. Great shooting, sir. He's a suck up. Oh my god. Bro. It's enough.
Can't see anything.
Where's the flying Zazzy guy? Is he on me? He's on him. It's confusing.
Get this off me.
Where are you? Jesus. Maybe I'll just bypass each other. Why are you just going after Fixer? I exist too. Act like a jealous girlfriend. I'm here too. Maybe not jealous, maybe just needy.
That's a hit.
See if we can find 07 before bed. I'm a guessing we go this way.
Flavors. Don't bunch up.
Every platoon needs a kiss ass.
Another kill here.
Oh my god. So who's the kiss ass in my house? Me, I think.
Guess it's dead.
That's 07 down there.
We guess or we know.
Interrogating that. Let's teach those lizards a lesson.
Being mean to my buddy.
Condition nominal.
Stop it. It's not okay. I don't know where we came in. Did we come in from this way? Did we go in from that way? You didn't follow me, so I'm thinking it's the other one. And there's trouble. And I think I am correct. Fucking reload. Stinky to him. Thank you.
This is a restricted area. Automated.
Jeez
Automated turrets
Louise.
have been activated, but that Trando damaged the controls. We can't turn them off. Need aid now. Need a reload.
There's still one on.
We'll beat them, Delta Squad.
What? How did you just go and die? Poor buddy.
Prep for conflict.
Prepped for conflict. It's my over my coffee cup morning mantra. Prepare for conflict.
4-0 reporting scan droid.
Well, you look fun.
Enemy eliminated. Wounded Delta here.
Oh, did I just kill my friend? I think I killed my friend. Oops. Oops days. I guess I kind of assumed I'd be like protected in here and I'm not. Maybe it wasn't good choices. How do I get off? Oh god. Oh god, no, I should have stayed in. No! Mistakes. Mistakes have been made. They've been made. Where did I run into more of the trouble? Out of any of those names, some, all, none. It's been the other way. One more time. Regain bearings. Attempt survival. It was horrible. Oops. 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 I think I was the one who took him out too.
I'm ready.
My bad.
Trando unit killed.
Oh, he means them. Health machine was where?
7 should be just beyond the store. We've got to hurry.
I'm getting there. I'm no use to anyone if I'm half dead. More than half dead. Only get there so fast. Can't run. Only get like a quick trot. Bloop, 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 bloop. Blah. What? Blah. I think you just yerped a little. Alright. Let's try and save 7 before bed. Maybe we can? Maybe we can't. We'll find out.
Slavers, don't bunch up.
Probably better luck by reviving 7 if possible. Reload.
Oh, 7 still. I'm on it. I'll be back.
Okay, you got it then. Patrol, 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 patrol. Patrol. Paw Patrol.
Lizards thought they could get the ship's update out of me.
It's all right, Commander. You're safe now.
Good.
Oh, there.
Got more lizards to kill.
Come in,
They've got 6 people holed up in
Can't
the
talk to each other when
detention
you're
locker.
dead.
Then we better get there before the Scaly starting on it.
That's his boy. He took over for me.
I got damage over here.
They're a bonded pair.
Someone help us.
Transocean.
Very glitchy and dramatic death. Oh my god, you're not my buddy. You're a big bad guy. What the fuck did I think was happening here? god, I shot the wall and hit myself. Let's not do that. I just saw glowy green tall guy and thought it was 4-0.
Help them down.
Maybe we should call for backup, sir.
I think that's a sign that it's time for bed. My face hurts.
Find Delta 6-2.
I need to figure out what I can do to make ice. Okay, so now X worked fabulously for it. Wow, is that a neat little thing? He's so pretty.
Condition nominal.
Pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew. You are at full health. I'm gonna go through there. Save. I want to try it a little bit. They do. All the tall boys look alike to me. We have the same general height and general aura. Can't tell the difference.
Heads up, more slavers.
I mean, it's nicely efficient. I only get so much of it, so I should probably save it. Did I quick save when I was in the other room? I think I did. That way I can waste it now and I'll have it when I get it back. 'Cause there's one bullet left or one refill left. What is that saying? Sir, you are in the wall. Yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote. You don't get any more of that. I want to be able to come back with it and save it, so I don't want to hit a checkpoint. Sorry, friends, I'm abandoning you. Sorry. 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 Good night, PlayStation. You did good for us tonight. You did good. Ugh. Oh, is the safety song on the Discord? Switch over the monitor input. Yeah, I know it's HDMI, no signal. 'Cause I just changed the signal. Nope, turn back on. Let me do things. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Discord, where art thou? Men without hats, safety dance. This is going to be interesting. I have that open twice. Oh, too loud. For educational purposes only. I don't really quite understand what's going on, but I know the main line of it. Honestly, with their sound and the way the video is set up, obviously videography has only been around for so long, but I feel like it's indifferentiable of when it would be from. Aw, Pupper. I really assumed it was gonna be like propaganda material. Dumb ways to die. Oh, I would have laughed at it. It hurts. Oh, the maypole. Is it midsummer? Or Mayday? The little puppets. No, is it supposed to be a Renaissance fair? You get to choose your own adventure. It's whatever you want it to be. The ants. This is an interesting music video. Safe to dance. I don't think I've ever heard the song in full. It's a that was a treat. Bravo. Bravo. Really thought it would be on par with Dumb Ways to Die, though. Well, there's a second one? A New Land? Is it a game? What? New Land of Dumb Ways to Die, the game. There is. Okay. Seems interesting. Oh, I can't watch this. It's gonna make me laugh. You say around two kids. Oh my god. I want to play it, but I can't. I'll laugh too hard at it. Very much a creature of its own creation. I want to save pin the walkthrough. I feel like that would be helpful and valuable. Oi. Alright, we're gonna hit the hay club cult and feed the zoo. Figure out how to ice my schnoot, and I've been racking my brain like the whole time playing games of like what I can grab, and I have no idea what I can grab. I think I'm just gonna like wet a rag and put it in the freezer, and then before I go to sleep I'll grab it. I think that's my best bet. Maybe make some ice if I think I'll need ice tomorrow. But thank you all for a wonderful night. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your chats. Stretch. Thank you for your support. More than anything, thank you for your time. Your time is very valuable, whether it is for 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours, or don't see you again for 2 years. When times collide, it is beautiful, magical, amazing, and incredible. And I'm oh so grateful. The Serenas are uniting. They are uniting. We have become one. It was perfect timing too. PB got to show her magic to new friends in the world. She's very cute and sweet. She's been very snuggly and silly tonight. You bubs want to keep up with me offline? Hop into the Disky Boo. Otherwise we got the fun stuff, the socials, some more fun stuff, the sketch for when I will see you bubs next, and thank you all for being a part of the Stream the Dreams project. It was very, very special to me, and I appreciate you all very, very much. Do me one favor until I see you, Bubs, next, and that is remember that you are wonderful, amazing, incredible, spectacular, fantastic, phenomenal, and all of the good things in the world. Take all those compliments and put them in your back pocket, your side pocket, your cute little hoodie pocket, your adorable little shirt pocket, floating in suspended animation, wherever it needs to go until I see you next, you sweet bubbos. Beautiful rest of your nightclub, Colt. Thank you for chilling on this fine, where's my chair going here? On this fine meow day, and I appreciate you all very much. Get some good sleeps, get some good dreams, get some good eats, and I shall see you all for the next one. Tomorrow is trap day, and Peebs has her shots tomorrow, so it's like a 25% chance of me existing. I may be a little overwhelmed if trapping is successful, and I may be a little bit in the sads if trapping is not successful. And on the flip side, PB has had a reaction to every single one of her rounds of shots so far, so I'm not trying to... What's the word for... That's so ravening? I'm not trying to that's so raven her having a reaction, but I have a feeling it will happen. So depending on how she feels and depending on what the outdoor kitties think, we shall see. Otherwise, I will see you, Bebs. Thursday. To whisper it so I don't activate the jinx. Welcome, Panda. Hope you get some good sleepies tonight too. Thank you, Bebs, for chilling, and I shall see you for the next one. Where's the next one? Get some good eeps. Make good choices. Don't do anything voyeur I wouldn't do. But he does many things. Though I would highly recommend attempting to get as cozy as the bean is in this moment. Good night, Club Cult.